Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulihi. Amma ba'du. I greet our listening audience, students of Mali, with the greeting, Assalamu alaikum. We're continuing on chapter 16. We're going to look at verse 79 and verse 83. Basically, verse 79. We're going to look at 79 and 83 as we continue looking at Ibn Arabi mainly, and we're going to be contrasting him with Imam W.D. Muhammad. As we started last week, I'll go over Ibn Arabi and some sources today. And then as students in the class, you will be assigned to write a reflection on the verse. This one you will write reflection on verse 1679. And then you will research Imam W.D. Muhammad, comparing or contrasting him with Ibn Arabi. Ibn Arabi and Imam W. Muhammad, you're looking at them, the similarity of them both being philosophical scholars of the Quran. That's what they have in common, the way that they both look at the Quran. And then you may find on the verse, looking at the logic of Ibn Arabi and the logic of the Imam, you may find similar ideas, or you may find different ideas. So you will look at the two, researching both of them. We're researching the Imam. Okay, let's get started. We read Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alam, this is asking a question. This Hamza is asking the question. Alam. Alam yarao. Did they not see? Did they not look? Did they not observe? Ila asayri. The bird. The birds here, tayri, asayri could be plural. And at times when a tayri could be a collective noun, meaning the species of the bird. But here it's in the plural, the birds. Musakharatin, they are subjected. Being subjected, fi jawi, in the atmosphere as-samai of the sky. Ma yumsikuhunna, and ma yumsikuhunna, he does not grasp them. One cannot grasp them illa except Allah. Only Allah can grasp the idea of the bird in the air. And we're going to discuss from the tafsir, of course, the meaning of this. So I give it to you this way first, and then we'll look at the tafsir without making comments. Inna fi dhalika, surely in that, la ayatin, signs, liqawmin yu'minuna, for a people who believe, they believe, yu'minuna. And in verse 83 it reads, ya'rifuna ni'matallahi. This is the crux of the verse. Ya'rifuna ni'matallahi. This one is alam yarau ila tayri musakharatin. See, this we call the crux of the verse. See, Jawi Samai we can add. That's what we're talking about. And here, Ya'rifuna ni'matallahi, they know the favor, the blessings of Allah. We're going to look at that part. So let's go to this idea first before we get into Ibn Arabi. There are some points I want to make. And then these points I'm making, because you're going to go back. Let's see, did I put the recording on? Let me check. Yes.
Recording has started.
Yes. Okay, you're going to go back and look at the recording, listen to the recording, and also read along with the recording as you're doing today. It would make it easier for you to be introduced, for the students to be introduced to Ibn Arabi. This is the furthest that we are coming with the advanced students. If you can read Ibn Arabi and comprehend, that would be good. We've looked at Ibn Kathir. We have the dictionary Raga. These are sources, good sources to the Quran. And if you want to study Imam W.D. Muhammad from the Arabic text of the Quran, if you want to read the Quran with comprehension, though there are many levels, this will be good if you get to this level of reading. So let's look at the idea, Alam yarau ila at-tayri. So we want to look at the idea of at-tayri. This is the key. At-tayri. At-tayru, we have an idea of tayri as birds. That's the idea we have. Birds. But now we're going to look at the meaning of at-tayri. It's extracted from or derived from at-ta'iru, the internal noun, looking at ragib. The internal noun, at-ta'iru. So we don't translate at-ta'iru. We have an idea, but we're not going to, we won't take the translation or the dictionary and then put it here just to give us an idea. Sometimes if you translate it, it won't make sense. So at-ta'iru is kullu zi janahin. All of the possessors of wings. That's what at-ta'iru means. All of the possessor of wings. W-I-N-G-S. Wings. So when we say bird, the first idea we get is we look in the sky and we see the bird, the sparrow, the eagle, the blue jay, so forth and so on. And that may be as far as our mind will take us. And we can't get beyond the idea of the bird, which may be only a sign for a higher and truer reality. So here the ta'iru is all that possess wings. The bees possess wings. They would fit in the category of ta'iru. The wasp, a ta'iru. Even the flea, not the flea, the mosquito, a ta'iru. They possess wings. Yusabbihu, and they swim, Yusabbihu, who swims fi al-hawa, in the air. They swim. Yes, yes, Bahu. They swim with the praise. They swim with praise, with praises. But literally, yes, they swim. Like the person that swims in the water, they swim in the air. So all that possess wings who swims in the air is called a ta'iru. So now, let us look at the idea of fi hawa. In the verse, a Quranic verse, this is one, I'm just making points. I'm not trying to give a speech, a written out speech. We're making points for research, and then we will discuss it in the class. We're teaching here. I'm not giving you a lecture, but it's teaching, making points. And then we connect the points. Then later, if we want to write from it, then we will write from it. So the verse, Allah says, Alhamdulillahi Fatiri. Praise belongs to Allah. So those all of the possessors of wings who yasbahu, who swim in the praises, swim with the praises in the air, we say Alhamdulillah, the praise lillahi. The praise belongs to Allah. I'm making connections without signals, but I just gave the signal. The praise belongs to Allah. So I'm showing you the connections. Fatiri, this word could be translated as creator, as-samawati, creator of the heavens. But Fatir is the word we're going to come across, fitra, is the nature, and it's not Allah's nature, but Allah is the one who creates the nature. He's the Fatir. He's the nature word. He's the one who does the act of naturing. Meaning that he brings the nature, he's the one who brings the nature into existence. And he creates it. As-samawat, now, we have the idea of as-samawat, we have spoken of before, of the skies. But it's not the skies, the seven skies. But it's not the skies that the weatherman reports about. It's not the sky you go out and look up in the sky and see sun, moon, stars, what have you. So we've talked about that already, and let's make connections with the logic that we have already discovered. So he's the one that gives nature to the spiritual skies of man. What others they and the physical. So with the spirituality and the physical bodies of man. That really making and malaikati, the angels rusulan in the spiritualities. The angels are the messengers, as messengers. Uli, the point we're making for this verse, uli ajnihatin, the possessors of wings. Those who they possess wings. So, I know you're getting it because you're in Mali. The possessors of wings. So the possessors of wings are kulli di janahin. This is the plural, wings. So all possessors of wings who swims in the atmosphere of samawat, they are ta'iru. So the angels are ta'iru as messengers. because they have wings. And they're in their spirituality. The sky of man's spirituality. Messianic, and some would translate this as having two sets, because the Ta'ir has a set of wings, not one wing, but a set. 2, 3, or 4. So now, let me make a statement based upon other presentations that have been made, and we can make connections with this as we go. So we say the angels are Ta'iru, so we can say take 4. See, Messana, Wasulasa, Wazuruba'a. Take 4 from the Ta'ir. Take 4 from the Ta'ir. Minat Ta'iri. Take 4. Yes. So your man might go to the eagle right away. Your man may go to the sparrow right away. But how many mans go to the angels right away? Because what? Because they're defined as Ta'iru because they have wings. Let me make a point. So, look at this idea. Now, I'm jumping from one idea to a previous idea. That's why we're just more or less making notes of things. So, they are Rusulan. So, take 4. So, let me take you back to the flag. We have a flag, and when we look on the flag, we see the Quran, and the Quran is a bird. The Quran is a Ta'ir. The Quran is a Ta'ir. Why? Because it possesses wings. And Yusabbihu, it is flying, glorifying in the atmosphere of man's spirituality. You see this in the pictorial form. Yes. And this is chapter 35. 35:1. If you count the rays that are coming up from the book, it's 35. Now, that may sound like I have a delusional imagination. We're going to get to that. That's another point I'm making. And then on Tuesdays, we can bring this up, take a look at it, we bring it up, and we discuss it on Tuesday. Next week, I'll give information for those who want to join the discussion on Tuesday. I don't have it, all of it here, but I can give it to you. You can join the discussion on Tuesday. I can put it on the Facebook. I'll put it there. Someone can see it. If you see it on Facebook, review this on Facebook, you can join in the discussion on Tuesday of what we're presenting here. We have questions on Quran, discussions on Quran on Tuesday. So I'm going to open it up. All are invited. So, or even comments. If you have a comment, there'll have to be questions, comments. Okay. And the wings. We see the wings, the pages of the book on the flag, they're unfolding. Now, let's go back to the concept of the unfolding. When we talk about the sighting of crescent and the prayers, there's the unfolding. I'm going to make a note. If you want to elaborate on that, come in the class or on Tuesday, and we can elaborate on this unfolding, this idea of the unfolding. Or we can even call it the opening. Unfolding or opening, gradually opening. Yes. And the unfolding starts with Al-Fatiha, the opening. the opener, the opening, and as you turn the pages, the book is unfolding. Yes. That's another point to look at. And for the bird, because the bird is the sign, for it to swim in the air, it has to maintain a balance. So bring that up to elaborate on the balance. Yes. Okay. Now, those are preliminary notes to Ibn Arabi. Let's look at Ibn Arabi. He says to the Quran, "Alam yarau illa al-tayri," which we have translated. He says, "Al-quwa ruhaniyati." So we take, as we're saying now, we've taken the words here, and he's commenting on what's here in the bracket. So all the way up here, all the way up to here, he's commenting on what's in the bracket. And specifically, he's commenting on Ataidi. He's not commenting on seeing. He's not commenting on lamb. Have you not seen? I don't know if I translate it like that. Did you not see? Did you not see? Ila Taidi. So we're talking about Taidi. So look how he has defined Taidi. He has defined it al-quwa al-ruhaniyya wal-nafsaniyya. If the student just got to the words here and stopped with Ibn Arabi, because it would be a lot for you to wade through Ibn Arabi. So we get an idea here that it is that the bird, at Taidi, we call him bird, but let's look and see. And nafsaniya is psychological. Aruhaniya, spiritual. Psychological, spiritual, al-quwa, force. It's the psychological, spiritual force, which we could say is the angels, because we refer to the angels as forces of Father, forces that's within this nature. There are forces in nature, certain forces. And this nature has in it the creation before the creation is manifested. See, Allah is alone. Allah stands alone. He's Ahad. And there is no other Ahad like Allah. Allah is Ahad. So Allah creates, and He creates the nature, and then from that nature, everything begins to manifest itself out of that nature. That's the commonality of all creations. Man, religion, the creation itself, all come from that same nature. This nature is expressing itself. But it may not express all of itself in one entity. But it's all the commonality, the common denominator of all is this fitra. And the angels are forces. They are a force, a spiritual force, a psychological and spiritual force. This is Tairi. We could say that swims, fi hawa, in the hawa of man. Are they in the Hawaii outside of man? Yes. But we're addressing man. Yes. We're not looking at the sky outside. We're looking at the sky that's inside. And they are this spiritual force, man al-fikri. It's from al-fikri, it's from reflection. It comes from reflection. So we can say reflection calls you to swim in the spiritual sky of man's reality. You get wings. Wings you're given from reflections, which we do a lot, reflecting. Yes. And al-aqli al-nazari, and the theoretical intellect. Reflection and the theoretical intellect, and the al-amali, and the practical intellect, all a part of the reflection. The reflection with the theoretical and practical intellect. All of it is talking about at-ta'ili. Well, even, we could say even though, or even al-wahmi, the delusional imagination, where tahayyuri, another word for imagination. So I put it together, the delusional imagination. Yes, you have. I didn't understand that. You have theory and the practical intellect working within the reflection, your reflection, but you also have, in this reflection, you have imagination. All making up the theory and delusion. Let me give you an example of a delusional imagination, which is part of the reflection, which I just said earlier. Perhaps I'm making a statement that I've made a statement quite delusional. You're being delusional. So let's go back. Let's go back so we can see it. Instead of going forward, instead of in the moment, let's go back in history. Then we can see what I mean by reflecting with a delusional imagination, theoretical and practical and delusional. All of it's playing a part on the reflecting, on reflecting. So I'm in middle school, back in the mid-60s, and we have to take typing. At that time, in the class, all the boys are thinking typing is for girls. See, when you live in Detroit, you're not gonna be a secretary and type. That's the only concept that we had of getting a job with a typewriter was being a secretary, and women were the secretaries. So we could get a job in the auto plant and not be a secretary and make good money. So for the teacher or the school have us, the boys, taking typing. We saw no use for it. But imagine the teacher saying to me, you're going to need typing in your future. In your future, you're going to need typing because you're going to have to type notes and be teaching people with the typewriter, and you're going to have a TV monitor that you're looking at. As you're typing, you're looking on a TV monitor instead of a piece of paper, and the people, the students you're typing to, they're looking on their TV monitor and they're seeing you as you type. And the typing is going to be very necessary and beneficial for you. You're going to find you have to have it. That's why you're in this class in the mid-60s. And I would look at her and say, teach, you have a very delusional imagination. Yes. But you see, but you need that. You need it, but even though it appears delusional today, you have to, it's being checked. Your reflection appears very delusional, but it's also checked with theory, the theoretical intellect, and the practical intellect. They're all operating together. You're not being delusional by itself. You're not flying with one wing. I hope you understand. Yes. So when we look to the future, some will say, you're very delusional. That's not going to happen. That's not going to work. Yes. But with theory and practice, yes, it can work. I hope you get it. This is Tahiri. Yes. And we'll make the connections as we go. So it says, Musakharatin, they're being subjected. Fi Jawi Samad, in the atmosphere of your spirituality. That is to say, now you can see where ideas that I have mentioned before, you can see here's someone else with these ideas. And then we're going to research Imam W.D. Muhammad and see how he's expressing similar ideas. That if Ibn Arabi is delusional, perhaps the Imam is delusional also. So you could say, I might be delusional, but I'm not the only one. That is to say, Fada'i Alami. That is to say the cosmos of the realm, the world or realm of Arwah. See, now, this part, he's commenting on Samad. Jawi Samad, he's commenting on this. Ibn Arabi is saying Jawi Samad is looking at the cosmos of the realm of Arwah, the realm of spirituality, the spirits. Yes. And in that realm are the angels as messengers. And the Quran, you go back to the Quran now, with the flag, it's a Ta'ira, it's a messenger. It's carrying the messenger. And in the message of the Quran is Arwah, is the Ruh, the spirit. Ma yumsikuhunna, he does not grasp. One does not grasp them. Min ghayri, and now he's going to explain what he means by grasp. Min ghayri ta'alluqin, without connecting. You sing these you sing the Tahiri, they're in the spiritual, they're in the high spirituality of man, but without connecting, be mad that can. Without connecting, any material is connected. Now the bird is the sign. You see, the bird is flying, and something like the hawk. You see that hawk? You may see the hawk. He's flying with his wings outstretched, and he'll float. Look like he's swimming and floating in the air for a long time without flapping the wings. Now, a short story. Very exciting. It was very exciting. Last year we were out playing golf, and we was on this hole, a par 3 hole, short. It's a short hole. And right before the green, there's this eagle. The golf course is next to the zoo, next to the Detroit Zoo. Perhaps the eagle has escaped from the zoo. It comes from the zoo. Some people say the eagle is from the zoo. He comes up on the golf course. And we see it, I thought it was a big hawk at first because there are a lot of hawks around. But to get closer, you look at the head, you can see it was an eagle. And as we got closer to the eagle took off. But its wings, close enough, we're right up on it. And I think I got a picture of it. Its wings are wide. They got make a hawk look small. Long wings. And he flapped the wings about 2 times. And the area that he covered, I mean, very gracefully, flapped the wings not fast, like you see a sparrow or something, just very gracefully, flapped the wings a couple of times. I mean, and he was moving. Yes. So you look at the hawk, which you could probably visualize. It's not every day you see an eagle. And they're suspended in the air without anything material holding them up. Wala i'timadan, or there's no column. There's no column that's holding them up. Ala jasamin thaqilin, upon a heavy body. Their body appears to be too heavy to be held up in the sky like that. They should fall out of the sky because the body is very heavy, heavier than what the wings appear to be able to carry. Now, we know science has advanced since then, since this revelation, that we have explanation for it. So this Quran, during the time of Muhammad the Prophet, the praise and peace be upon him, science. We read the Quran then, and science has developed and evolved out of the reading. And we study how can the wings hold up a creature so heavy that when man try it, he falls to the earth. Until he learn how to create a situation that he could make an instrument with wings that can hold many people and fly across the world. So he will be called Tayr. We call it a bird, Tayr. We call the airplane a bird, Tayr. Because why? It possesses wings and it swims in the atmosphere. Yes. So there's no flesh. So even Jesus says what? No flesh would enter the kingdom. No flesh would enter the kingdom. There's no flesh in the kingdom of man's spirituality. So no one can grasp this. Except Allah. Yes. So let us stop here. There's the other verse, the other part that I have here. Let me just show you the first part. I put it here, but I don't want to spend too much time because we want to get involved with the assignments. Because this comes down to Ibn Arabi, he comes down to the verse here. He says, Ya'rifuna ni'mat Allah. They know the favors, the blessings of Allah. Hidayata an-Nabi. The blessing is in the guidance of the prophets. Aw wujudahu. Or his existence. The blessing of the prophet or the blessing of his existence. Again, the messengers is seen as deity. We connect that with the bird, with the Quran, with the angels. They're all connecting with the idea of deity. So let me stop there. Enough for you to take a look at, and I will give the assignments inshallah, in the class coming up Tuesday. If you have questions and comments on this, I'll put the information up with this on Facebook, on recording with Facebook. You can call in for further discussion. There's a lot to be said. I think during Ramadan, we would take one of these chapters, and I may just give a session, give a nice long Ramadan session and take my time. Here, I'm cutting myself short because of the time. I thank you for your presence. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.